Alright, getting back into it. As we get started, there are a couple things that I need to disclose here. Namely, what I did while off stream yesterday to save everyone the sheer tediousness of AFK waiting. First thing you'll notice that I'm not in that Topaz geode anymore. That's because I hung out there for 2 hours just waiting for crystals to grow and harvesting them. When I was done with that, I came back here to the Citrine geode and did the same thing. And while I was returning home from the Citrine geode, I found a 4-leaf clover, which is another new resource that we have only recently unlocked the ability to see. So now I'll just put away all the loot. Including all this stupid amount of calcite and basalt. Most of which, of course, needs to be cooked. Well, we've still got some raw kicking around. We have way too much of these raw crystal blocks that need to be smashed. And we now have plenty of raw crystals to go into pretty much whatever mysterious things we need to do with them. I've kind of forgotten what those are, but the more exciting thing right now is going to be to start smashing. Let's make some dust. Everything goes down the drop shaft, then the anvil, and then us to go collect. That's a decent amount of powder. Let's do it again. Since it's so quick and convenient to just throw an entire anvil down this hole. The XP gain isn't bad either. Okay, so 2 drops should be plenty. It's the middle of the night, so I'm not stepping outside to put this away. I also need to put away all of this. And all this pigment, colored wood, more crystal blocks. It certainly was nice to find tons of free pigment while out and about. Though notably, none of these trees were in the grayscale or brown department. Just another one of Spectrum's ways to make sure we don't accidentally unlock anything that we didn't find through normal progression. I think these saplings need to go out and get planted, and then we'll use this slot for dye, so we can make more trees. Just take all of these, because honestly the logs and the pigment are better placeholders for each of these than the saplings could ever be. And that's it. It's also very much to our benefit that those 4 hours of hanging around between the two geodes allowed our tools over slime to regenerate completely. So let's have a nap. Bring on the daylight. Get these trees managed. And my gem dust put away. And then we'll try getting into the nether and working on that blazing blood farm. That's light blue, not cyan. Cyan is over here. They look identical from a distance. Fat lot of good marking these with their respective planks did me, if I still can't tell them apart. There's also a skeleton somewhere in my slime trees over there. Bit of an irritation to know he's over there. Let's go get the prick. Death. You don't get to hang out in my zone like nothing's wrong. We're still collecting bows, and we have a couple spare saplings because those slots are full. Now, we're going to get the seared bricks, and the bricks, and the bricks, and the bricks. The soul glass can just kind of hang out. Am I even ready to grab all this stuff? Did I ever finish the road? I don't think so. I think I ran out of deep slate. And I don't really have much in the way of deep slate to continue the road with. Well, maybe forget the deep slate and collect some more netherwood. Also, I wouldn't mind having more potatoes waiting when I get back. Oh, this thing is brilliant for that. Not gonna need these sticks, they'll do me no good in the nether. Neither will this clock. The bouncy shoes? The bouncy shoes actually might. We'll hang on to those. They should honestly just go with the slime sling. That makes the most sense. This area looks darker than it should be. Probably because there used to be a torch there. Oh, this isn't right. There we go. Now things are looking better. We now have two fools in here. And our buddy is still strapped into place. I was afraid of that. The lead just burned up. I can't believe I didn't consider the possibility of the lead just catching fire and burning up. But there it goes. We've lost our ability to tie this guy back to the post. Alright, hopefully he will stick around the area long enough for me to collect these warped mushrooms. Boy, he's heading for lava fast. Stick around, bud. Don't disappear on me. I don't have a lead to keep you in line, and you have my only current saddle. He's already in the lava. Well, I can kind of encourage him to stay in the general area if I keep this thing close at hand. Alright, let's get back on our journey to the Blaze area. Hoglins can't do a thing to me in the lava, unless they want to jump in. And I don't think they do. I just noticed I'm still carrying a boat. That's not especially helpful right now. Maybe if I had a big old stack of boats, but one boat is not going to get me very far. buddy. Oh! Oh no. Oh no. That is multiple kinds of problem. That's better. Now, about that settle. And now that I'm temporarily fire immune and have my boots on, we'll just heal up down here and plan our ascent. Oh, which is extremely bouncy. Like I said, squishy, bouncy slime noise is going to become a staple. Because while the boots are very nice at preventing fall damage and synergizing with the slime slaying, they're also very difficult to control. Okay, now we're in. Regular boots. This has a flint and steel. Goodbye, flint and steel. I'm taking the chest. And while our fire immunity holds, I need to go find our blaze spawner. Also be nice to get another fire immunity in my pocket. We'll leave those. I have a buff timer running and do not have the luxury of running around fussing with random flint and steels. I will go after these guys though, because it's easy. Let's get some bricks. Where were we with the bricks? Looks like from the center we have problems. Okay, so the bricks go under the nether bricks on the left side, and so they need to go under the nether bricks on the right side. There are also 1, 2 blocks on the back, 1, 2, 3 blocks on the front. So I need another block space on the back. Once everything leaves me alone. I get another spawn just as I finish dealing with the previous one. we need to retreat. We need potatoes. I still have 3 minutes of fire resistance. And there's still a skeleton out there being a dick. Die. Leave me alone. 2 minutes, low health. Things are going poorly. There's fire everywhere. I'm on fire. Now, is this the correct size? 7 by 7. That's in the center. The size couldn't be more correct. It's just a matter of all the problems. Fire resistance expiring. Drink up. More potato. Honestly, so it's a lot easier if they're just shooting fireballs at me, because I can ignore those. It's the melee attacks that are more than a little problematic. Basic footprint is ready. So we got that, which is a start. We're gonna have a lot of blaze rods by the time this is over. It's just ceaseless. It's ceaseless. They're spawning faster than I can kill them. Which bodes well for the farm this is becoming, but is kind of a pain in the ass for building it. Okay, so the core build is mostly ready. Next steps are going to involve all the special blocks. We'll just put everything in here, why not? And I'm going to need these tanks. We are going to need a controller. Honestly, this should probably be on the left, come to think of it. The guys are so obnoxious. Get a controller on the left. A fuel tank buried deep in the left. Lay off, mates, your days are numbered. Right above the fuel tank, we put a drain. So much fire. So glad I'm immune to that. I could just start this now. Make things a bit easier. There you go. It's fueled. Start cooking. Place some glass walls so we can watch their misfortune. And I don't really have to use any more smelter blocks. Excuse me, get down. The only real next step is to completely block them in. Kind of roof would be nice. But that's what all the That's all the netherrack I've been hoarding is for. But this is it. This is the build. We made an easy bake oven for jerks. Oh, I want to get another rack now. 15 seconds of fire resist left. Will it matter? Alright, next task is to clean up the rest and get a ceiling on this. We have all these bricks to spare. I can put these here. It won't matter. You get a faucet. Honestly, now that I've expanded it 3 high, it'll be easier if I put this 1 block higher, I think. Would be nice if I could put the fuel tank on a level above the smeltery controller, but I don't think I can get away with that. Well, why not give it a try? This will temporarily stop them from melting. Ow. Okay, it does work that way. I didn't think it would. It used to not. Fuel tanks used to have to be on the same, but that was under Tinker's contract. Kind of surprised Hephaestus managed an improvement. I know that's very disparaging to say, but honestly, the experience with it has been kind of that way. So I get a channel there, so it feeds straight back. Another channel block, why not? And our tanks are ready. Yeah, the only thing remaining is to clean up the upper area and get a dome on it. So we don't need any more seared bricks, and can use these to expand at home. This brick fence can go. This will just slowly fill with blazing blood, and I'm fine with that. Let's go get some structure blocks and cap this off. We have plenty of netherrack for the task, and that should be more than adequate. Sacrifice fire resist and get to work. A block of soul soil. Yes, a block of soul soil fell in. That's going to be a slight complication. All that remains now is to get a roof on it. Which the locals are going to resist. Get back in your holes. I also need to hop down on top of the spawner. Oh no, don't you dare knock me in! Go away. There. So they can't spawn on top of the spawner and not fall in. And there we go. It is contained and finished. The only space that the blazes can spawn is inside, where they have no choice but to fall down to the floor where they get cooked. The only thing I'm missing is a safe roof. But that is again what all this netherrack is for. Blazes and gas from outside will completely cease to be a problem when they can no longer see me. Because I've gone and blocked up the whole access way. Like that guy. Magma Cube also not an issue once I close this off. There. Now we are as safe as can reasonably be expected of Nether, if not more so. Now my only problem is this one block of liquid soul that I don't have any way to deal with. Actually, to be fair, I kind of do. While I'm fussing about, I'll just place that in case wither skeletons happen in the area. If I do this, then I can get that pesky block of liquid soul out. Or the soul glass. I didn't think I could do that. So our Blaze Blood farm is in full swing, and you know what? I don't think I'd actually mind some free soul glass at this point. So I think it's tougher stuff than conventional glass. And I can maybe use it as blocks here, so we have some visibility. This will also help us burn away the lava supply, which I don't need. "33 blocks might be a bit ambitious, though. Especially considering how slowly they pull. But hey, the more time it takes, the more blazing blood we get as a side effects. And we do need ample amounts of this stuff, which is why I brought the 3 tanks. Just keep it coming. I can stay here and engineer for as long as I need. Be nice to have a lever and a hopper, I suppose, but it's a little bit beyond our abilities right now. Kind of liking the increased visibility. It's not great, but it does the job. Also pour pains, I suppose, but why would I want to do that? It takes so much longer. bigger window. Nice. Keep that soul glass coming till there's no more. I should say in the hot bar. I left so much more soul stuff in here. Let's not melt it all. Or even any more of it. Just picking through what could be important, or what I can safely leave here. Hello. Random blaze chilling in the hallway. And this stopped because we got too far away from it. Nine blocks to go. 8. Seven. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. Did I just hear an arrow, or was that under magma cube noise? 1. Just 1 left in there. And that's the last one. I set up the channel so when the blazing bud lands on this channel, it can flow both ways, as indicated with small arrows. And then it can continue to flow across all 3 tanks. Will that fully fill the first tank before it moves on? I don't know. I don't know how channels work. But The idea is that the blazing blood will be split into the lava tank first and foremost, and then will be separated into the tanks. Stolen all the lava. Flow. Okay, it's being split between the first tank and the fuel tank exactly as I wanted it to. Being as there's 30 buckets in there, that can fill the 15 buckets of this tank, the 4 of the fuel tank, everything's fine. This will just go and go until it can go no mo. First tank full, second tank filling. I like it. Everything is proceeding exactly according to plan. Say hello to the fuel tap. And now there's spare blazing blood sitting in the channels, which is what I was afraid of. But the tanks are full. Which is all I needed. Now I have no more fire protection. But we can leave. It looks like the arrows are correct. One in there, then the arrows keep going this way. Alright, 15 buckets in there, 15 buckets in my inventory. We can now properly fuel the smelter back home for higher tier nonsense. It's just a matter of getting there first. I am fresh out of fire resist, and all we've got is potatoes. And of course, they will completely fill my path back with blazes. I just lost another piece of armor, and we're gonna burn to death. Well, that's one way to get home. That is one way to get home. Why Why is it only draining that small amount? Oh, because that tank is full. Okay. More chapters just for having pulled this out. Tank capacity upgraded. Now empty it. Okay. Blazing blood tanks are go. And this lava tank, well, it's a lava tank. If I need lava and or tank, here we are. And to be fair, I just might. What a mess we got going on in our inventory. Gold, tons more netherrack I don't know what to do with just yet. Honestly, I should probably just go back into the nether and work on the bridge. And these two things should probably be destroyed, because I'll never use them again. So one of our big concerns here is to make some queen slime for ever more durable tools. It's going to have to be a pickaxe head. And I'm thinking our hammer too, which is going to be a lot. And the scythe could do too. In fact, all these tools can. This is just going to be very expensive. So all four of these could do with a queen slime upgrade. Queen slime is cobalt, gold, and magma. 1 cobalt to 2 queen slime. Cobalt is going to be my limiting factor. I have 9, that'll probably be 10 cobalt. Which will be 20 queen slime after we add everything else that's necessary. And what's the magma amount? A slime ball's worth. This is 4. Hell with it. Have a tank and a bucket's worth. I don't care. Then we add the cobalt and the gold, and we'll see what the mixtures give us. So I'm not about to sit here and do math. If we go over, I can pour out into one of the tanks. I really don't know why raw cobalt won't melt in the furnace at all. That's 12. 9, 10, 11, 12. Or it could be a block and 3 ingots of iron, but why would you want that? It's a waste of what could be cobalt. Magma, cobalt. How did I mess up on... Oh. Oh. Because I imagined it as 10 and not 12. So those last 2 ingots of cobalt can become gold. Or queen slime. And the remaining magma can be bled back into this tank. It was a tank and a bucket's worth. It shouldn't fill the tank. And now we've got queen slime. 18, 21, 24 ingots worth of queen slime. The pickaxe definitely needs 1. Or 2 it'll end up being. And the sledgehammer is going to need 16. Which I am aware is not a small number. So, pickaxe durability 892 with overslime of 112. We have this. And the durability and the max durability go up. Mining speed stays the same. Attack damage goes down. And its overslime ability doubles. Hell yeah. That's really good. How much is left? 6. That's not a lot. Hammerhead, stats go up. All of its stats go significantly up. Plate the left. Is this the left or the right plate? I can't tell. It's the right plate. Durability goes down a bit, but Overslime jumped by 700-ish. 700-ish? I'll take it. Now we plate the other side. Durability takes another hit, but the Overslime jumps by another 600 at least. Maybe 900. I don't know, I can't math. Yeah, that's about 900-ish. I wouldn't mind getting Queen Slime onto these as well. But we don't have the Cobalt. I could pour a Pickhead and get it onto the Rawdax. That'd be a good play. Yeah, Overslime doubles. Durability goes up a little. And it doesn't otherwise change appreciably in any way that I really care about. So, good stuff happening here. I have a Slime Steel repair kit, but nobody cares except maybe my sword. The sword is kind of having a time, though. Because there's only 3 parts to a sword. I need the Slime Steel because it has half a point of damage over the Queen Slime. I need the iron, so it's magnetized. And I need the Skyroot handle, or the Slime Wood handle. Oh, other way around. Iron Tool handle gives it magnetic and good durability, and then Skyroot part is necessary so it regenerates the slime, Overslime on its own. So I don't really have any room here to add Queen Slime. Unless a Queen Slime handle is not terrible. I mean, losing 0.05% damage and speed, that's not terrible. For that kind of durability boost, and the Overslime boost it would be, I'd then have to add a compass to it to make it magnetic. But I've got upgrade slots to spare. Let's do it. Tool handle. Attack damage actually goes up for some reason. I don't understand how that's happening. Overslime doubles, durability falls a little. Attack speed falls very little. Yeah, why is attack damage going up? Oh. because I'm replacing the Skywood handle, and I don't want to do that. I want to replace the Iron Crossguard. Which does cause our attack damage to fall. And our attack speed. I'm just going to replace the handle instead. And then try to Slimewood the Crossguard and see what happens. We'll use this, because it's a loud color. I was expecting more red than orange, but I guess here we are. And it results in the exact same stat spread that I was avoiding. Oh well, I need the regeneration. And put the compass on. Get that magnetic property back. Three ingots of Queen Slime left. Not sure what to do with that, but I guess it can just stay in there. It's not really enough to do anything else with. Though I could replace one of my scythe's tool handles with it. That wouldn't be so terrible. It would regenerate more slowly, but it would have more over slime to regenerate. And that'll get better when I get more Queen Slime and can do it to the blade as well. Yeah, it's a pretty big overslime bump. I lose an overgrowth level and a little bit of attack speed, but mining speed goes up for some reason. The other thing I'm trying to look at is how it changes the tool visually from the solid blue handle. Like, I want to know how to get the Queen Slime part not on the upper handle, but on the lower handle. And that doesn't seem to be an option. No matter which slot I put this on. Oh, that's how it works. In one position it does both handles, and in the other position it's the central shaft. So I'll do that. And boy, do I have armor problems. Severe ones. And I don't really have the means to fix it. Because it can't be fixed Tinker style. So I'm just going to replace what's broken. Back to Nether we go. We have to continue the road. And maybe I can fill up on more blazing blood while we're there. You guys are beginning to get obnoxiously numerous. Bring it on, Chuckles. Why is there a skeleton at the top of my stairs? They're just coming to ambush me. Really? Gave me a shot to mess up one of my block placements. Alright, the road must go on. Including through this Yahoo. I've now been down there. Not going to turn down free resources at this stage. I mean, who knows when I'll need nether quartz next. I'll be kicking myself for not grabbing this. Maybe I should be more careful with my drilling, because I'm quickly running out of that overslide. I'm here on a building expedition, not a mining one. These are in my way, though. So is this guy. Curse you and the Crimson Biome. This is even better. Hoglins, multiple, on my bridge. One of these things is bad enough. Add to that I don't know how to fight them. They seem to have more reach than the player. Why is meat in there? Meat goes in here. Oh, kind of back to square one again. I didn't even reach the part where I could have expanded my bridge. Let's clear these death markers. They're just getting in my way visually. Crossbow piglins are no threat. At least if they appear somewhere that I can physically reach. They're a bit more troublesome if they appear, you know, on a cliff over somewhere else that I cannot get to. There's that Hoglin again, still there. Buddy, get off. Oh, he's at full health now. It's a new Hoglin, and he broke my armor. Well, that reduces our protection a bit. And we get to... oh, yeah, this part. Where there was a Hoglin threat. So I didn't get very far with making the bridge strong. I hesitate to say strong when I'm building out of netherrack. But when in hell, build with what you've got. That hold shift like your life depends upon it, because it kind of does. So how do I keep doing that? And this just keeps going and going and going over empty space. And my clicking is getting sloppier and sloppier. Now I'm down to nether bricks and warped stem, which I think are marginally higher blast resistant blocks, so I'm going to use them to extend the bridge's spine. As we continue to try and get this to the blaze room. Seeing a fair bit of cobalt around, which honestly is kind of worth temporarily abandoning the project. Because it's very uncommon and extremely valuable. Business. We still have a good distance east to go. Another 1, 2, 3, 4 chunks at least. Also, how the heck does my hammer not have magnet yet? Hey, don't try to get in my way. Oh my. A hole. This has shades of Deep Rock Galactic and running out of floor. Well, this lava needs to go. I can almost go vertical now. Or north, I should say. Now we go north. Hello, sudden open space. Another sudden ravine. And rather than beating the crap out of my hair, maybe I should go back and build up some bridge. Give it time to regenerate. Hi. No, they'll leave me alone. Briefly. Why didn't these break? Apparently no reason. that's cobalt. It's in an awkward spot, though. More cobalt on the ceiling. I cannot stress enough that cobalt is a very good and worthwhile material. It is one of the best materials for ranged weapons, because it increases the speed of the projectile, directly increases the projectile's damage. Don't like that ghast noise. He's way down there, though. So maybe that's not a problem? Maybe. I'm just going to go ahead and treat it as though it is a problem. Because ghasts are the main threat to my building project. It's moving now, which makes it significantly more of a threat. Out of my way, vines and mushrooms. Starting to catch up to where I left the ridge. If I can just get this side settled, then I can finish the other side. And probably get ambushed by hoglins on the way. Maybe I should be carrying a warped shroom so it fears me. And I didn't think to grab one. Here it comes. Whoa! I'll just pretend that made sense. Punted into low orbit by a super pig. Just what I always wanted. But I got another block of cobalt now. So it's not all bad. I could get me another dozen queen slime. But I only really need 8, I think. Yeah, 8 for the scythe blade, that'll do it. So with the cobalt, this magma. And 8 ingots of gold. And the rest of the cobalt we can use for cobalt purposes. Because back in Tier 3, looking at cobalt directly, I mean, Harvest Tier Diamond, mining speed high, attack damage lower than Slime Steel. But it has this lightweight property. Attack, mine, and launch projectiles faster, which is worthwhile when you come over here to Tier 3 ranged and look at Cobalt. And we see all the tiny buffs that Cobalt offers. And attack damage doesn't matter because that's when you hit things. Who is hitting things with their bow? That is a lot more Queen Slime than I thought I was going to have. I must have forgot that it doubled. Yeah, I forgot that it doubled. I have 16 when I expected 8. Giving me much less cobalt to work with than I was banking on. But the Queen Slime can make me a broad blade, as was always the plan. Overslime goes from a 500 max to a 1200 max. Attack speed and mining speed don't change, and durability actually goes way up. Attack damage comes significantly down, but I don't care. And I guess as long as I have 8 Queen Slime to spare, I might as well complete the Lumber-Axe. And then just for a lark, we can make a second Lumber-Axe that specifically turns trees into charcoal. Because I haven't made a charcoalinator in a bit, and it could be a fun exercise. Just before that, though, I'm going to pop through this portal and just drop off all of our bridge materials. Don't want to look at them. The blue mushroom we're keeping, though, because I still have to finish that bridge with them. The bridge across the river. And I need a new Curious. Alright, second Lumber-Axe. First thing is we're looking for the melee material that auto-smelts. Cultivated, no. Stonebound, jagged, no. Piercing, dwarven, no. Interference, don't have access to it anyway, don't care. Magnetic. I mean, I want magnetic. Searing, mines multiple blocks, no. Necrotic, overgrowth and slime, no, but thinking about it for later. Scorching, bonus damage to targets on fire, no. This is Endstone, I don't have it. Next chapter. Overcasting slime, crumbling, lacerating, no. Tasty, enhanced, no. Lightweight, no. Queen slime, insatiable momentum, no. Conducting, also no. And that's it. So no material does that. Is it an ability? Harvest, auto smelt, yes. Why is it any material? Like any raw and anything ingot shaped? It must be. So then we are making another Lumber-Axe for specifically charcoal purposes. That's a tough handle, a binding, a broadhead, and a pickhead. We're going to need durability on it and some good abilities. Manulin, Hepatizon, Queen Slime, these are off the table for now. Cobalt, not possible. Pig Iron. I mean, Maybe. Ambron's actually has really good speed, really good durability. So that's one to keep in mind for the toolhead, especially if it's cheap to make. Then of course there's Slime Steel, which is just amazing. It has almost as good mining speed, significantly better durability. So maybe we just want to do Slime Steel again. Yeah, Slime Steel and Slime Wood again with a Vine Binding. Because I am not seeing a lot here in the durability department other than Slime Steel. Iron, Sky Slime, Seared Stone. Each one makes 2. We're going to need 10, so 5. Remembering the doubling this time. And that's the head. And we'll use these 3 blood shroom for the tough handle. Let's get these in here. Cobalt doesn't alloy with any of these, so it's fine. And then some vines for the binding. Because it's very much an outdoor tool, so. And there we have it. 10 ingots of slime steel. Although there was no option to name it, because it used to be something that you could rename, or maybe I just didn't see the window. Anyway, we are now looking for abilities, auto smelt. So that is a raw, and anything ingot shaped. And a blast furnace. Oh, checkmate with smooth basalt. I also called for 2 coal blocks. There it is. And I can name it the Charcoalinator. The last thing I think I do want is to actually make a cleaver. We need to get a cleaver. We need to get some heads coming off. Make it a nice 4-part weapon. So that's going to be 2 slime steel parts, theoretically a queen slime part, and a slime wood part. I think that's the best we can do. Because queen slime has that attack damage of 2. And while Blazing Bone has 3, it also has a durability of garbage. Cobalt itself with the 800 has 225. Not impressive. 1-5 on the Ambrons. 350 durability on Nahuatl. You can't save Nahuatl. You just can't. It's terrible. It also has this, which you don't want to have happen, because if a creature dies from a damage over time effect, it doesn't trigger looting if you have looting. Slime Steel with damage of 2-5 and really good durability, which is honestly pretty much the only good answer for a nice solid weapon. You get 2-5 damage out of Scorched Stone, bonus damage to targets that are on fire. But look at that durability. It's garbage. Slime Wood attack damage 1, neck bone 2-5, but with durability of garbage. Although, heals are percentage from critical hits. Maybe I could sneak. Durability is still terrible, and there's no binding element in Cleaver. It's just blade and plate, which both count as the head. So that's no good. Bloodbone 2-5, durability trash. Iron 2, durability 250. 1-5 on copper. Yeah. Slime Steel is the only choice for a weapon head. Short of something like Manulin, but that costs Ancient Debris, which is a bit outside of my wheelhouse at the moment. Oh, and this is going to want magnets as well. So Slime Steel Cleaver is going to cost 4 and also 8, so 12. 12 slime steel, therefore 6, 4, 5, 6. Six. And 6. I can also finally melt this and get the diamonds out of it. As long as slime steel is happening, one of the tough handles needs to be slime wood. And the other handle, I'm a little less certain about. Maybe we can find some good handle multipliers alongside a good trait. Iron for 1.1 durability. Neck bone cripples durability. Slime wood tanks attack damage, but we need it. Slime steel handle. I don't see a lot of good there. No Huddle handle for 30% damage, but then lacerating, which we don't want. Cobalt for lightweight. But that would be the 7% attack speed plus the 0.5 would be the only benefit. Queen Slime, theoretically. That could be a good move. If I could find Manulin, that'd be a good handle. And that's it. So it looks like we're making this last Cobalt into more Queen Slime. I need 3 Queen Slime. So I'm making a minimum of 2 of these ingots into 4 Queen Slime and then being able to walk over with it. So that's 2 gold and a bit of magma. Yeah, I have some ancient debris. If I melt it, that's 1.3. Is there a better way? 1 to 3 makes 4. That would give me my Manu handle. And a Manu blade. A Manu small blade. Alright, let's just do that. Also, I need to somehow get that molten diamond out. I can get it out with a gem cast. And my jeweled apples. Don't know why I'd want to do that. Because it goes into revitalizing. And what does that do? It's really an armor upgrade. Increases max health. Nope. I would rather a gem cast. So how do we get a gem cast? With anything even vaguely crystalline. I think I can get away with pouring, with melting 1 nugget of gold in there. Or 1 ingot of gold in there. Or a piece of quartz, because that counts as a gem. Gem cast. Molten diamond. Assemble Zakliba. Not the scariest weapon I've made. But quite possibly on the list. Why can't I peel the luck modifier off of this? Is that it? Ender Slime and Dragon's Breath are the only way to do so? Alright then, I guess that luck modifier is fixed. Disappointing. So with that in mind, how does luck go again? blocks of lapis, blue flower, 2 copper. Next level, 2 ender pearls and a bunch of gold things. I don't have the ender pearls. Maybe I can find them. I'm not seeing any endermen. Which is another one of those of course not scenarios. Why would there be when I'm looking for them? Everyone knows they're supposed to sneak up. Also, why is this thing not collecting any loot? There we go. It can get loot drops. Okay, after 4 failed swings, it's time to get shot to death by skeletons in my own front yard. The deaths are just getting embarrassing. So how about upgrades? Fiery, knockback, necrotic. Tool loses 1 extra durability per level. Yeah, no. Padded reduces knockback on the tool. Severing, extra head drop chance. Chances doubled against rare mobs such as bosses. Weird. Sticky to apply slowness. Sweeping edge. Multiple damage buffs. Piercing to cut through armor would be nice. Smite versus undead. Sharpness, which is always woefully under numeric. The only reason Smite is any good at all is because it's good against everything. And then Swift Strike for attack speed. 1 upgrade slot per level. Well, I only have 2 upgrade slots available. And one of them needs to be magnetic. My iron supply is just dwindling because I'm making armor. compasses, weirdly enough. We can also solve some problems, but I'm going to need to fight a squid. There's the compass for magnetic, there's the music disc for an extra slot. These can get me a level of smite. Do I want smite? I suppose I do want smite. With some of these for a level of swiftness. And that's all I can afford to apply until we find some ender pearls or cut some squid down. And I see fish, but no squid. Even worse, there can't be any Endermen because it's raining. Squid. Yeah, one ink sac is enough. Book and quill for another upgrade slot. Maybe I can go ahead and use... Yeah, because if I go ahead and give it general sharpness, then its base damage will go above 10. I still have that one ingot of Manu floating around. What can I seriously do with one ingot? Functionally nothing. So we'll just ingot the two of those on out of there. And we have a tiny amount of spare molten debris. Add that to our tank showcase. And I need more of these. Seared ingot gauge. 5 glass, 4 brick. Wow, look at all these bricks. And all this glass. Boom. Tanks. With all the spare bricks we had kicking around. Topped up on the power of potato. And how are we doing on Spectrum? I haven't interacted with Spectrum a lot today. Well, look at all this. Painter's Cuisine. We can make beverages. I can confirm that I'm perfectly okay with alcohol. And a titration barrel made with a pigment, 2 iron, and 6 colored planks allows us to brew lots and lots of things. And also Suspicious Brew, which is like Suspicious Stew, but it changes depending on your ingredients. It doesn't use mushrooms, I guess. You have fun stuff like the Radiance Staff, which is made of blue and shimmerstone, and places magic torches at the cost of shimmerstone gems. It's a powerful tool that could help us later. Enchantment Canvas. What does it do? It takes... Right-click onto an item to swap enchantments in the canvas with bound items of that type. So I can move enchantments from one, say, pickaxe to another. I don't like it. It's not a big help. Block Flutter. Thrown into a narrow path, pond, ravine, these get filled. Pulls matching blocks directly from your inventory to fill the gap. Or we'll use cobblestone. Just fill space. Cyan and green. And the bag of holding is a portable pocket ender chest. Another type of backpack. Also, we can make a rod that can fish in lava. Why would you want to do that? Decoration. Colored blocks with pigment and shimmer stone, making colorful lamps. And we can make colored spore blossoms. Yay! This is our limiter right now. We need to make the onyx shard, which needs midnight on a new moon. I have no idea what the current moon phase is because it keeps raining. So that's why I haven't gone any further with that. I'm just going to go ahead and use all of the crystals that I've collected and a single bucket of lava to try and make an entire stack of onyx. And that will process at midnight under a new moon and whatever, I guess. Impossible to tell when that could even be. Didn't it say it could control the weather? Oh yeah, sunflower to make the rain stop. Not that I have any of those. Let's see, what's the capacity on this thing? 72 buckets. Let's just guess. $10. 20. And then have some lava. That has dumped all of the lava in there. My entire lava tank was just voided in here, and it's going to combine and make plenty of obsidian. While that processes, night is happening. Unfortunately, I still can't see the moon. Silly me. Why would I ever want to know the moon phase? frustration, we rip down the trees. All the trees. But how dare you hit me with a shovel? I will take your little head clean off. And that's all I can reach. It's getting close to midnight. Oh, I actually have some I have some trees to plant. I guess when this gets closer to midnight, we'll check back and see if it's running. It makes distinctive noises when it starts running. This is magenta. We have a purple. Can't reach. Green. Red. And lime. Rain suddenly stopped. It is not a full moon. So we kind of hung out for nothing. Oh. Or did we? Hello, friends. You have things that I need. Sure would be nice if you'd give me one of them. Where did you just go? He's gone. And not coming back. Okay. I'm used to Endermen returning after teleporting away. Okay, that's a pearl. Sure, I'm glad I have looting on this. Big impact. One whole pearl after 2 kills, and it's not even a rare drop. Horse, what are you doing? Trespassing horse. Alright, I think I need to invest. Oh, but I don't have any carrots, and it calls for a golden carrot specifically. Overstacked on a couple of these. Overstacking on two that are actually good to overstack on, honestly. How is the lava doing? Needs more lava. Why am I not surprised? So I'm in the very strange position of needing carrots. Which is mostly strange because of the villages that we've passed so far, neither of them have any carrots. I think. I don't think I've adequately torn this place apart, but I also don't see any farm plots. Okay, I take that back. These guys had beetroots. Beetroots and wheat. And other ones have just been wheat. So we need to go exploring again. Specifically for carrots. Also, there's this jungle temple here that I want to check out. If we find more lava, we can scoop it to turn into more obsidian. So let's go exploring the fun and bouncy way. Which way? Well, east to hit that jungle temple. And away. Point to the ground and sprawling. I do what I want. Gravity is optional. This looks like part of the desert temple we looted a long time ago. So it is. And there's the jungle temple. We have bounced and ricocheted all the way here, found the entrance. Down we go. Gonna need my shears. Here's the lever puzzle. Don't have much idea how it works. Don't much care. You can just go straight on through. Gets us some free redstone components. Redstone. And why not take the rest of the levers too? All for emeralds. A Fortune 2 book, that's nice. And a saddle? You can keep the saddle. I have enough saddles. Now for the shears portion of our adventure. Have to be mindful of them tripwires. Not very good redstone if it's visible in the open. For 2 arrows, 11 arrows, a couple of armor trims, bones, more gold. Not a very impressive take. So now we are homeward bound to deposit all this stuff, because the various redstone components will otherwise take up a lot of inventory space, and there's not much I can do about that. So I just sail straight over and through most of the jungle. Making this a far faster way to navigate than by horse. Redstone stuff, bunch of loot. Chest, vines, and this book. Maybe we can get more levels of luck off of this book. That'll do it. And that's enough. Forget the ender pearls. You are going straight to luckiest. You are going straight to luckiest. And you are going straight to luckiest. How do I know back east? Because I see a village over there that I did not see before. So let's rocket on that way, with the knowledge that we will have to be home for the new moon. It looked like a half moon last night, though, so there should be plenty of moon phases left. Nope, caromed off the side. What was that? Did I fly over a mineshaft? Nope, just a crevasse. So, a bit of puzzlement. I've been here. I specifically towered up there, that's what all those blocks are. How did I not see this village? Village has got wheat, melon, beetroot. More wheat, more wheat. Nobody has carrots. Nobody believes in carrot. They also have a camel, which are an interesting novelty, but I don't think they're nearly as good as horses. "48 buckets of lava in a blink, straight to the tank at home." And some shimmerstone while I'm at it. Are there any farmers that can sell carrots? You are a nitwit. You have red cacti and green. Farmer. Buying produce, not selling it. Maybe I could get emeralds from him, because I have potatoes and beetroot. How about you? You're buying carrots and beetroot. This is all wheat and beet. Not a single carrot to be found. And the moon is smaller. I think full moon tomorrow, if I know Minecraft's lunar cycle correctly. Or sorry, new moon tomorrow. You. Also creeper. Got a pearl that time. I got skulls too. Don't you run from me. I'm here to take your limbs and your names. Bounce. Oh jeez. Ow, ow, ow. Time to go. Tridents really hurt. And they're even more persistent than skeletons once they get thrown. Another village. Another potential chance at carrots. Also a mine shaft. Okay. With functionally nothing in it. Actually, I could melt down that pickaxe for iron. Ow. But now my inventory is full of trash. I never actually made an iron pick, so this is my first iron pick. Bounce, bounce. I think I saw mostly wheat in their farm again. Wheat, melon stem, wheat. That's it. Just the one farm with nothing I need. Keep on bouncing into what looks like a very dramatic bamboo forest. Oh, hi. Did not see him until he exploded. When the going gets tough, the tough fly to another part of the map. This could be a topaz geode. Technically closer to home than the last one. It's large enough that it has to be topaz. It is. Several clusters of color trees, mostly in the blue spectrum. As we continue ignoring our problems and bouncing all over the map. Iron, good find. Inventory is starting to clog up though. So I think it's time to head home, drop stuff off. And I guess the best thing I can do for my my carrot problem is capture that double zombie spawner. It's down my mining staircase, and hope they drop carrots. Because even though I don't need golden carrots anymore for more looting modifiers, it's still a black mark on my farm that I don't have any carrots. Hello. Not dealing with that. Just the one iron? That's the only thing of value down here? Okay. Very large hole. Still, just flying over it like I don't care. Bounce mostly up. Not quite up enough to angle myself over the hill. Shot myself perfectly onto the hill that time. Ooh. Shot right through the canopy. Gotta look at all the clovers now, because some of them might be four-leaved, and they are visually different. One rabbit hide. Exactly one rabbit hide. And skulls. What are skulls good for? They make dark conduit. Skeleton slime skull in case of ender slime, which is, post-end, and it melts into milk. Just what we always wanted. Also, recapitated, which is another modifier slot. More speed for swifter strike. iron pick that I plan to melt into iron ingots. And that's certainly a thing that I can do. This is going to need more water. With the obsidian coming out of it, we'll put more lava in it. That'll process down to more obsidian. I'm also going to want a stupid amount of obsidian panes at some point. Oh, looks like we have run clean out of water. Yes, take the lava back. I do not want to place more lava in there. And let's get this obsidian to panes. And we're going down to go bully those zombies. Which, no matter how you look at it, is going to involve some slabs. Night has also fallen already, so I don't have very long to do this. Pass the spiders right on by. I forgot I left stuff in here. No, now it's gone. kind of want to figure out a way to make an optimal farm out of this. But at the same time, I don't have that kind of time right now. Okay. As long as I won't be spawning over here. It's too bright. Right, that'll do it for the raw basics. Lock that up, and we should be good. Unfortunately, I have more than run out my clock. So I gotta get back up. Gotta get back to the surface at a dead sprint. And we made it. Midnight has not yet occurred. Don't you try and mess this up for me. Here we go. It is raining and exploding and things are happening. Instant thunderstorm. Speaking of thunderstorm, I should probably have some lightning rods down. So a lot just happened there. This is the heart of it. Oh jeez. Yeah, bring on the lightning-based drop. Oh no, 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 no. Oh my god. Absolute monster. At least I set the settings so they don't destroy blocks. Ow. I know what I'm doing with these, I swear. It just looks like I'm a moron. Oh boy, phantoms, just what I need. We can melt that. This melts into 8 ingots of gold. That's nice. It also has a modifier called Gilded. So many saddles. But if Guild is another free upgrade, it's not in the list. So where would Gilded be in the book? It's not general. Is an ability. General. Trades an ability slot for 2 upgrade slots. I can see the appeal. Except for the sheer power that ability slots are. Alright. And with this, we'll switch over to blocks. Because I hope that's enough Obsidian Panes. It probably isn't, but I'm gonna hope anyway. Golden Horse Armor is worth 7 ingots of gold. Pretty good. So what has this new Onyx Gemstone empowered us to do? We can upgrade the Pigment Pedestal to Onyx, which makes it much, much bigger and uglier. This is why I was worried about the pedestal not being big enough. We can also make runes. A moon-phased clock. And wireless redstone. So, to upgrade to the Onyx pedestal and upgrade the temple, we need 4 more polished gem blocks, 8 lamps, gemstone chisel blocks, which are actually the runes, 16 crests, pillars, blocks, la la la. So I'm going to keep with a primarily basalt theme with some calcite splash. It's the 8 lamps and the 16 gemstone chisel which will be the problem. Oh good, I made 4 at a time. Punch it. And then we needed how many gemstone chiseled rune things. 16 gemstone chiseled blocks, which is again a misnomer because it's talking about these runes. And these are made one at a time, or 4 at a time if you can silk touch an amethyst, if you can silk touch a cluster. This is your casual reminder that 16 times 5 is more than a stack. And 16 times 4 is a full stack. And despite being, a rune block, there it is, amethyst chiseled basalt. That's what the upgrade demands. All these other blocks are maybe in the stone cutter, so I'm not concerned with them. It is very embarrassing to upgrade this to an onyx pedestal and not already have these blocks ready to go, because you can't make these in an onyx pedestal unless the full onyx structure is built around it. You end up with a dead altar. Now, we kick up the big transformation. We have all the important stuff. And the structure needs to be bigger, and I needed to make those out of calcite. It's fine. I'll put my calcite embellishment somewhere else. Now we have the unenviable task of digging a giant square around the whole mess. Now I'll turn that off and tear up the rest. I like to see what I'm doing when I'm digging. Okay. Now I don't need this dirt. I need more calcite. And almost certainly more basalt. Let's just prepare, oh, basically all of it. Basically. Throw out the dirt, won't be necessary. Those shards won't be necessary. This is... This has to be done, or it wouldn't look like this. There you go. Melt that. Be useful. Now, as I always say, if a block isn't going to be visible, make it calcite, because calcite is abundant. So I will happily use calcite for these under pillar blocks that no one will ever see. Least of all me. I think the calcite embellishment opportunity here is to just encircle the whole mess. Because this outermost ring is just a big block cost and it contributes functionally nothing to the structure. So there. I've drawn a big circle around it. Congrats. I'll even curly cue the corners. Yes, around the basalt pillars. Makes perfect sense. And looks terrible. Now we need to expand the pillar arrangements. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pillars and 4 crests. Times 4. And we'll sleep on it. Draw out my gold ingots. Okay, so this is a little complicated. I would like this to be easier, but I'm just going through multiple block types. We have pillar, lamp, pillar, pillar, rune. That's a pillar. That's a gem block. To crest, to crest. Pattern continues. Pillar, lamp, pillar. Something's not right. Okay, I think what's not right is that I already placed the pillar. Yes. So it's pillar, lamp, pillar, pillar, rune. And that's this corner. Pillar, 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 pillar. Missed. Lamp, pillar, pillar, rune. Lamp, pillar, pillar, rune. That's not a rune, that's a lamp. That's a rune. Double crest, pillar, gem block. Another problem is these areas up here are dark. And back to it. Lamp, pillar, pillar, rune. Hop down. Lamp, pillar, pillar, rune. Double crest, pillar, gem block, torch. And last one. And we've done it. Onyx level pigment pedestal with a slot for onyx gem powder and the ability to start making dark colored and grayscale trees. In order to get started on that though, we have to smash some onyx shards to get powder. If you thought waiting 4 hours for crystals to grow was tedious, have I got news for you about onyx being exclusively a manufactured gem. And you need onyx powder as well. Alright. Why is this partially transparent, but only sometimes? Bit of a visual glitch there. Anyway, put away the rest of our building blocks. Have a look at what we won. Now we have access to liquid crystal, which is pretty important stuff. Letting liquid crystal collide with liquid mud makes clay. So we now have an infinite source of clay. We just have to make liquid crystal and then figure out how to make liquid mud, which we already know, it just needs regular mud. Also, liquid mud colliding with water creates dirt, so infinite dirt. Semi-permeable glass is now a thing. It's a form of glass that you can walk through, but monsters can't. So it's just glass mixed with pigment. And you can make it gemstone colored with gemstones. It's also possible to make it tinted, which would be great for mob farms, except for consuming onyx, which is expensive. And then we have access to structure upgrades. Crafting accelerator. Makes the pigment pedestal and other machines take less time. There are other machines that also have upgrades that you can place, but I haven't made them yet, so they don't show up in this chapter. We can make gemstone chimes, which are also a progression thing necessary for another machine I haven't unlocked yet. And glow blocks, which, if you liked building pixel art out of wool, these are going to be even brighter. They are kind of inspired by the anti-blocks from the original Chisel. Just bright and solid color. We also have access to ink magic. So there's the color picker, which turns pigment into liquid ink, and then multiple containers for ink. This is what makes ink a problem. You can never use all of it, because ink goes into the color picker, fills it up, then you apply an empty flask, and you can't pull out all the ink. You can only pull out half the ink, because all it will do is equalize in pressure. There's always residue left behind, which is, yeah, terrible. You make an ink flask, which holds one color, and the ink assortment, which holds a little bit of multiple colors. We also have a player detector made with onyx, and boots. Increases move speed and step height. Why is it plus 0.75 step height? Why not a full block? How? What? 0.75 step height theoretically doesn't do anything. Oh well. I'll worry about that another time. Right now we need liquid crystal for progression. Fortunately, I have practically everything I could need to make it. So we've been farming these for a while. These are still just passively growing and filling up that chest. 2 shimmerstone, and then 2 pink and 2 yellow. Liquid crystal go. Mud is apparently not craftable. Oh well, we have liquid crystal. Deal with it. What do I do with it? I just have a bucket of stuff. Ha-ha! I have a curtain of mysterious glowy fluid. So I'm just gonna sit here and be weird. What did I discover? Rock candy. Put sugar on a stick. Place it in liquid crystal. Throw more sugar into the liquid crystal. It turns into candy. And maybe I can add other stuff. Why? Knowledge gem. This has nothing to do with liquid crystal. Why did that unlock with the liquid crystal? With the power of green and purple and an emerald, I can make an XP bank. I think a progression hints a new ore revealed with nether quartz. There are two ores then in my mind that could be. And I think they're in the nether. One of them is in the nether. The other one is in the depths. And I think it's the nether one that's just been unlocked. But that is going to be a tomorrow problem. For now, I think I'm all mind and craft out for the day. So, we will continue progress with this mod tomorrow. And I will see you next time. What's going on here? Is this actually empty and it's just pretending otherwise? It must be. It must be. I'm sure if I melt one thing in there, it'll suddenly declare that it's empty. Despite the alleged gold. Here, have a block of iron and quit lying. See? Blazing blood tanks and more to come. Fake gold ingot. Anyway. Kind of just burning time here, so. Like I said, see you next time. Until then.